Well, Malaysia's Pardons Board has reduced the prison sentence for former Prime Minister Najib Razak to 6 years from 12. His release date is set for the 23rd of August 2028. CNA Digital broke that story a few days ago, and this is the official confirmation. The Pardons Board statement also says his fine has been reduced to 50 million ringgit, or about $11 million. That's from 210 million ringgit. Najib began his 12-year prison term 2 years ago, after the federal court dismissed his final appeal over conviction on graft and money laundering related to the multi-billion-dollar 1MDB scandal. The Pardons Board did not give a reason for halving Najib's sentence. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim says it is the right of every citizen who has been convicted to appeal to the king. The 6-member Federal Territories Pardons Board is headed by Malaysia's king and consists of the Attorney General of Malaysia and the Federal Territories Minister Zaliha Mustafa and 3 other members appointed by the monarch. And for more, CNA's Afifa Arifin joins us live from Kuala Lumpur. Afifa, obviously, Mr. Najib can now leave jail earlier, but how else does this decision affect the man?
Well, definitely a small win for Najib Razak and his supporters. A jail time that has been reduced by half and a fine that has been significantly cut to 50 million ringgit. Now, the 70-year-old, as we know, is currently serving his sentence. He was convicted in 2020, and after 2 years of appeal, he was found guilty of all 7 counts of criminal breach of trust, abuse of power, and money laundering related to the 1MDB subsidiary SRC International. And so far, we know that he has served 16 months in prison. Now, Najib had requested for a royal pardon shortly after beginning his sentence in 2022, and after exhausting all possible appeals, he has consistently maintained his innocence. Now, nothing much changes for the former Prime Minister. For now, he will still be in prison for some time. But what some observers are saying is that Najib may soon apply for parole and be released even earlier than 2028. Now, to be eligible for parole, a prisoner's sentence must be at least 1 year, and he must have served half of the prescribed sentence, not including the 1/3 remission period that he's entitled to. So some legal experts are saying that after August 2025, Najib may already apply for parole to be released earlier. It's not the end of the road just yet for Najib, though, because he still has at least 3 other trials for dozens of other criminal charges related to 1MDB.
Afifa, of course, the current Prime Minister got a full royal pardon in 2018. What Najib has got is a partial pardon. How significant is this in Malaysia?
Well, this case has been a case of high public interest from the very beginning, because it involves a former prime minister. It involves billions of dollars of the people's money. So, of course, there has been public uproar because many Malaysians feel this is injustice, because Najib has been sentenced already for stealing from the people, and yet his sentence has been reduced. Activists are saying that such a move would irreversibly tarnish the country's criminal justice system and Malaysia's standing as a nation that upholds the rule of law. Many are already demanding to know the grounds of the Pardons Board's decision. They say that the board must explain the reasons, as it could give rise to speculations that different sets of rules are being applied to different sets of people. But what does this all mean for the current government, for Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who has UMNO, Najib's party, as part of his Madani government? Now, we know that the pardons are granted at the sole discretion of the king with the advice from the board. Now, the monarch, in this case, the former king, Sultan Abdullah, has the power to either grant a full pardon or to commute sentences. But even then, we know that this current Madani administration will receive backlash for this reduction. Some political analysts are saying that, this reduction is a sort of middle ground outcome that would appease the largest factions in the Madani government. And for Prime Minister Anwar, that means for his Pakatan Harapan coalition, as well as for Najib's party party UMNO, which has been pushing for a full pardon all along. Now, Prime Minister Anwar himself, in a media interview earlier today, said that the process has to be respected and that the people must respect the right of anyone convicted to appeal to the Pardons Board. He added that this is something that is beyond the Prime Minister and the government because it's a decision of the King. And so what we will see is that observers will be very closely watching to see exactly when Najib will be released. Will it happen in 2028, or could parole be granted for an earlier release, say in 2026? What we know is that these answers will shape Malaysia's political landscape, especially leading up to the 2027 general election.
Thanks, Afifa Arifin, reporting live there from Kuala Lumpur.